What's up, everybody?
Hey, everybody, welcome back to another episode of Riffs and Flix, and this is your co-host, Brandon.
And Kevin.
And Luna's here with us, too. Thank you, girl. So, on this episode of Riffs and Flix, we're going to talk about a recent Netflix documentary that most of you, if you haven't watched it, you probably should. But I guarantee you, if you were our age, if you were a kid, you definitely watched this guy on PBS paint what? Happy trees.
Only, what is it he calls it? Just a happy No,
they're happy mistakes.
Or is it or a happy accident?
Happy accidents.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate because most of my accidents aren't very happy. But that's neither here nor there.
So the documentary is actually called Happy Accidents, Betrayal and Greed.
That is true. So most of you folks know old Bob. And because of his paintings, and you watched it on television. So I didn't realize, I didn't read anything about it. I just saw Bob Ross and I wanted to watch it. Well, while tuning in and watching the series, I started to get real pissed because I don't want to ruin it for you. So turn it off and then watch the series and then come back. But he was hornswoggled.
Good work.
I mean, I don't know what else would you say?
That's good.
Betrayed don't do it enough justice.
He was hornswoggled.
Yeah. And I just gonna tell you,
go ahead.
If that would happen around here, them peoples, what is their names?
Kowalski's.
Is it Kowalski's? I call them Satan, Satan. They'd be buried somewhere in a holler.
So
for double crossing Bob Ross.
Long story short,
they're assholes.
That's the short version. Long story short, Bob Ross is not what we've all thought all his life, which is just this happy-go-lucky guy, which he was. But he was super talented. Apparently, he was one of the first people that could do like these landscape portraits in under 30 minutes. Like they went to PBS, like pitched this idea, picked it up, and then it became what we all know. Well, behind the scenes, there was a couple that was kind of helping all of this get started. And I don't want to give too much away, but I think anybody that knows Bob Ross knows he has passed away.
Yep. We're not ruining that part.
No, we're not ruining that because everybody knew that. But you would think that his family and friends benefited from his
name, his image,
career, just everything. But
his paintings, no, they didn't. So if
zero.
Dollars.
Yeah, zero.
So if you guys have purchased for your kids, like Learn to Paint or a children's painting book that says Bob Ross Inc., just know him and his family, he gets nothing. He's dead. They get zero. They own his name, his likeness. We were up in the mountains just this past. So I'm being ridden like a horse over there. We were just in the mountains this past week. Went to the National Store up in Boone. As soon as you walk in, boom, big Bob Ross display. My wife's like, "Do you think that's Bob Ross Inc.?" Sure enough, turned it around. Not today. Nope. But I will say, he does have a son.
He does.
And we get to learn about his son during this documentary. Cannot remember the name of his son's company.
It doesn't have the name Ross in it because the other people own the name Ross.
Right. Or I thought they just owned Bob Ross.
No, he was afraid to even call his company with Ross in it.
To use his own name?
Yeah, he couldn't even use his own name. I don't remember the name of his company, but he's a super awesome painter as well. He was actually on the Bob Ross show painting several times, and his dad talked about how great of a painter he was.
Yep.
But that kid has also gone through a tough life dealing with his dad passing away and then trying to basically fight for his name.
Yeah. You know? I mean, his family. I mean, think about that's generational, Bill.
Yeah.
Do you know that you can't hardly buy a Bob Ross painting? Them SOBs took the paintings off that man's walls in his home.
They did.
Yeah.
And if let's say you find somebody that has a Bob Ross painting, this particular woman is the only person in the world that can say whether it's a true Bob Ross painting or not.
That's right.
She's the final say so.
But yeah, she is. She's also part of that Satan group. Which by the way, can you believe Bob Ross and her boot scooting bug?
I cannot believe that. God, she looks like she's like 90 when he's like 50.
She looks like what's her name off of Golden Girls, the grandma, B. Arthur's mama. And can you believe he was like, he's like, I'm gonna do you the favor. I'm gonna give you the Ross.
What was her name? They just called her Mama. I don't know what her.
Oh, she definitely had a name.
She did. I can't
But
remember.
anyway, I cannot
she
believe
Yeah.
he did that.
So,
and by the way, chicks dig this dude. That's the other cool thing.
Yeah. So he was going around and doing all these teachings. Like before he got famous, he was in malls.
Yeah.
Like teaching people how to do this landscape painting. Then the TV show took off and they couldn't go in malls and stuff anymore because he would get mobbed.
Yeah. And you know, the interesting thing too, though, there was a guy that was doing the paintings kind of before him.
Yeah.
Remember? And he had a totally different personality. This guy was like very boisterous, right? And Bob Ross was very soothing, calm. And so he went the actual opposite direction.
Yep. And he did it purposely. He was like, I'm going to be soft-spoken and quiet.
And what a genius for doing that.
He's cool. And his hair, he did get his hair permed.
Yeah, it was a perm.
It was a perm.
Yeah.
You learn actually a lot of stuff about it.
It's a really good story. It's just kind of a crappy ending that there's people out there who take advantage of situations.
It's actually a really sad story about a super nice guy.
And then he tried to really do the right thing for his children and his name and whatnot. But man.
And then they just hoodooed him on that too.
And if you people are listening, I don't care for you. I don't. You're awful human beings. And one day you'll get what you deserve. I don't know what that's going to be, but karma, she's a bitch.
I mean, they can't, are they? Yeah, I guess they're still alive, both of them. Maybe.
She was 100 then.
She had to be.
I mean,
and he was just old, soothed voiced afro wearing just jeans with the paint.
He was you know, have you ever like tried to paint?
No.
Okay, well, I've tried to paint.
No.
Yeah, I'm not very good.
I've spray painted stuff.
Yeah. I think that's called graffiti. But like the way you touch it and do like that. I was looking at Grandfather Mountain at the trees and I was like,
started painting it.
Well, in my mind, I was like, these are happy trees. Now I see how he did it. Like,
but don't use that Bob Ross paint.
Don't get anything Bob Ross. Look at the back of it.
Burn it.
Says Bob Ross ink.
Burn it.
Burn it.
Just light a match right there in the store.
Don't buy it.
Boycott the stores. Boycott the Bob Ross paints.
I don't know about the stores. Getting a little extreme.
Just that section at least.
Yeah, don't buy nothing.
We got to cancel the Kowalskis.
Is that really how it's spelled?
Yeah, I think so.
How it's spelled.
How it says.
Can you spell Kowalski?
Kowalski.
Fact check. You're right.
We got to cancel them.
Yeah.
I mean, this day and age, cancel culture, why are people not canceled that are like that?
That's true. Well, we're starting it right now. We're starting a movement.
Join us.
Join us. Canceling Kozlowski. What's her name again?
Kowalski.
Right. Satan.
Satan.
So anyway, Bob Ross, what's in the documentary?
Happy Accidents, Betrayal, and something. Dang it. Okay, it's called. I don't know where it went.
It was at the top there. I thought. Oh,
Happy Accidents, Betrayal, and Greed, and you can find it on Netflix.
Yep.
And it is a really good documentary, but I will be dead serious. It's sad.
It's sad. Yeah, you'll go through an emotional roller coaster.
Yeah, it's sad.
Happy, sad, the whole thing.
Because I mean, seriously, you have a guy who was super talented, cared about people, cared about what he did, and wanted to actually like make a difference in the world. And two people saw the cash that could come with it and just took advantage of it.
So the moral of the story is trust no one.
That's right. Sips, Riffs, and Flix.
Boom.
So Netflix, it's worth a watch.
Worth a watch.
Yep.
Would you walk across the street for it?
Definitely.
Yep. And punch the Kowalskis
in the kisser.
Right, the old smoocher. All right, everybody. Thanks. We'll see you next time.
See you.